brakes work. Right folks, so welcome back to another video. I know it has been a few days since the last upload, but it has been a bit of a hectic week. The plan for today is we're going to get the new engine back in the S3, or the donor 88,000 mile one. As you will recall, it blew up and we stripped it out in the last installment of this series. So yeah, we're going to head back down to Artec Performance, get the new one in, get it all up and running and hope for the best. Now the installation process is pretty much a reverse of what you saw in the last video, so I thought I'd switch to a voiceover and explain what's going on. By far the hardest bit was lining it up with those engine mounts. It may sound like a simple thing, but because the engine was on a pallet and we initially decided to drag it in whilst it's on the pallet and line it up, we just couldn't get it quite perfect. And the last thing I wanted to do was cross thread those engine mount bolts. But yeah, we got there in the end, and pretty much from there it's just a case of getting everything in line. Got the main engine harness pretty much tucked around and ready to be plugged in back into the ECU. Also got the shifter cables reattached with the respective bolts on that bracket, the downpipe as well with new hardware. Managed to get all four from the top. Then we got the car up in the air and reattached everything from underneath, such as the dog bone, the drive shafts and also the prop shaft. Okay folks, so here we go. New BHZ is in. The only thing we haven't done is put the rad pack on and the fans. The reason for that is I want to get the car up in the air and drop the oil, because strangely enough this thing's still got its oil in there. We're going to do the pickup pipe again, like we did in the very first video, and we're also going to be doing a balance shaft delete. Now this little thing here by Vis Motorsport is what would have prevented this car from blowing up in the first place. Also I'm going to pull out the spark plugs and check the cam follower, because as I said it's a complete thing. Now the back of the S3 is pretty much the graveyard you saw on the floor in the teardown. There's my high pressure fuel pump with the new bolts, so I'm probably going to nick those. Right, so S3 is up in the air. We went over the full pickup pipe sort of removal and changing process in the very first video, so just a quick recap. You got the Allen head screws there. It's better to use a ball headed socket or hand tool to get into these ones here by the gearbox. Can't really tell much from that because it all just looks like oil, as it would do. This sump plug was on pretty tight though. As we'll get this turbo feed pipe off as well. Probably going to drip. The sump stopped dripping now, so I'll put a new drain plug on. I'm going to pull the oil filter out, unscrew this cap, press the little red thing inside, let that drain. There we are. Oh, not bad. It's actually quite good nick, that, to be honest. Must have been done recently. Okay, so oil filter's done, nothing really to see there. It's all been changed out now. We're gonna get these bolts out now that hold the sump into the gearbox and get this off. 16s, of course. Crack them all off. This coolant pipe's probably in the way of the shot, but it has coolant still in it, so I don't want to move it. Out. Yep. There we are. There we go. Okay, so we've got the sump off. It was pretty stuck on, but there's good news. This thing's very clean under here. Definitely doesn't look like a abused car at all. Pickup pipe has got, well, it's pretty good to be honest. We're going to take it off and clean it rather than replacing it. Just spoke to Nick, he said that would be fine, and that's what we should do for now. Obviously on this side we've got the oil pump chain, which is actually present on this engine rather than my one. As you'll remember, this thing was completely missing. It was stuck up there. 5mm Allen head. Undone this. And that's it, cleaned up, looks pretty much brand new. So we'll get that back in, should be all good. Okay, so pickup pipe's all done. I'm here with Joe.
Hello guys.
We're going to be doing the balance shaft delete now, which is basically what I should have done to start with on the old engine.
Yeah, probably. So we've just got to the balance shaft delete now. There is one of these covers on that you will need to be quite careful taking off. These tend to break very easily. Just that inner cog there.
Yep.
It's got an M12 multi-spline bit on it.
Okay, yep.
So we're just going to spin it round. There's a little hole just under here.
Bit of air release in there.
Right, so that's stuck now.
Yep.
Undo that.
Yep.
Just put a screwdriver in there. That's just to hold the tensioner back off the chain, make it a bit looser. And this makes this bolt come out a lot easier. And then for the bit that can either take 5 minutes or 20 minutes, half an hour. Get that to sit up there and just like that.
Yeah, just like.
I did one yesterday and it took me about 20 minutes. It's literally the fact that that has a bearing in there. just to make sure it free spins, and that one is uptight, solid, so it moves the shaft. So this is just cancelling out that shaft.
The concept behind it is pretty simple, but as we've seen, it makes a big difference between needing a new engine and blowing up the other one, as we've seen.
Yeah, we've seen. So you want to get it in a position there and just literally wiggle that on there and it will pop on. So I'll leave that in there just so the tension's free. It'll be easier to start winding the bolt in, and then we'll torque it up at 20 Newton meters and a further 90 degrees. There you go.
There we are. Sorted. Balance shaft delete installed. Now next what we're going to do is move on to the spark plugs. Now as you will recall, the engine over there, we did do the spark plugs, and I have just taken them out and they're brand new pretty much. Well, they should be, having done 5 miles before the incident. New cam follower because the other one has vanished. Let's have a look at the condition of these coil packs. Surprisingly clean, those. Would have thought they'd be a bit more rusty looking than that. They look brand new to me. NGK RPF R7S BEG. Bit crusty. Main thing so far is there's no oil on them, which is good because I don't have to do the rocker cover gasket. Just want to get this car started, I'll be honest. Yeah, these are the ones we're going to be putting in. They're still basically brand new. NGK BKR 7 EIXs. The recommended plug, especially if you are going to be tuning these. And torque them up. Next thing I'm going to do is take this dipstick out because it's one of the original older style ones. Main way you can tell is it's orange. This bit at the end started breaking up when I pulled it out earlier, so luckily my broken engine has a later revision, which as you can see here is yellow. High pressure fuel pump next. Showed all of this in the first video, so if you really want to see. Take this connector off. Alright, so here's our cam follower. It's worn through most of the black coating. So it's worse than the one that was in the original engine, but that was definitely changed. It's not ideal, but then again, it's not the worst it could be. Okay, so that's the cam follower done. Spark plugs are done. New dipstick is on. Pickup pipe's been cleaned. Balance shaft has been installed. That's pretty much most of the main sort of things we're going to be doing in today's video, in addition to actually putting the whole engine in. Now, my main goal for now is to get the rad pack back on. Check every clip, make sure it's all properly been secured. And then yeah, in the next shot, we'll get some oil and coolant in the thing and finally start it up. Deja vu as usual. Right folks, so sometime later, we've got the intercooler and the rad back on. We have done an aircon delete, so we've put a shorter belt on. This pipe broke off, so might have been involuntary, but it's got an aircon delete on it now, even though we did have a heat wave like a week ago. But for the most part, the UK is cold. Oil is in. I left the coil packs unplugged. Just going to crank it up and build some oil pressure. Oh, it looks on 147,999. This is not going to be a start-up, so don't get too excited just yet. Yep, that clutch pedal's gone straight to the floor. We need to bleed that. Okay, so the coil packs are plugged in. This engine cover stroke intake is also back in, along with the MAF sensor. Need to get a clip for that. Pretty much all that's left now is to start it and see how it goes. Just gonna go for it pretty much. If this doesn't work, I don't know what to say. There are a lot of connectors unplugged, by the way, so it probably will be a Christmas tree on the dash. Tank system malfunction. Oh, so there's no fuel gain there. What, did they pull it up?
Oh, that does not sound nice.
Basically, they unplugged the low pressure pump. Round 7 perhaps. The clutch is already on the floor, so it'll turn on. Oh no, now the battery's flat. The S3 lives. Yeah, PHZ lives again. Sounds alright as well. Anything leaking? That looks all good. Nothing to note there. That's what they call a good sounding TFSI. It's becoming like a meme now because they all just sound the same. All the ticking noises.
That's quiet for a TFSI, that is, to be quite honest, don't it?
At least we've established the engine runs, which is good. What I'm going to do now is get the full, well, most of the front end back on, double check all the clips, and then we'll catch up then and basically get it moved out of this spot, hopefully. Okay folks, so it's actually a few days later. The S3 is now looking like a car again. Had a bit of a traumatic experience yesterday trying to bleed this clutch. It was just going to the floor. I couldn't quite figure it out, but yeah, we're finally there. We have a clutch. So yeah, essentially we're just going straight to the floor. It had no pressure at all. Tried it with the bleeder, tried it manually, couldn't quite figure it out. Then I was thinking maybe it's either the slave cylinder or the master cylinder. The issue with the slave is it's actually inside the box on these. It's part of the release bearing. So yeah, if it was that, the box would have had to come off, which is a massive pain because I've already put it in. Now, of course, I did drive the donor car and it was totally fine in there. And also before this engine blew up, my old one, that box was fine, the clutch and all of that. So yeah, it was a bit of a tricky one, but I came in today all refreshed and I got it done. The panel gaps could be a bit better, but it's all going to come off eventually for the mods I'm going to do. Straight shot to the intercooler, no AC rad in the way. Just need to put the wheels on. Left some of the arch liners off, but all of that can be done. It's like sitting in a cave in this corner. Love to give you guys my reaction as I turn it on, because believe me, I'm always clenching myself. Oh look, we have a clutch pedal. You can't see nothing. Okay, let's do it. Round 2. Seems to work. Suspension's pretty terrible, to be honest. Pretty smooth engine this. Going to this car park over here. S3 works, folks. Oh yeah, all the old engine parts in the boot, that's what the knock-in is. Temps are good. It's holding 90. Heaters are warm now. Brakes work. These lot are jokers, man. Right, we'll save the rest of it for a first drive. And just like that, the S3 is now back at home. It made it back from Artec in one piece. There was no funny noises or anything like that. Definitely does need a bit of a clean, but I'm very happy with the way this has turned out. Could have been much more of a hassle. So around a 50-minute drive, and I deliberately chose to avoid the motorways just in case something did happen. But because of that, I ended up going down some very narrow country roads which were very bumpy, and the car survived it. If anything was going to go loose or drop off, it probably would have done on those roads. But yeah, S3's back. Now I think this is a good place to end today's video. Make sure you drop a like if you enjoyed it. Also subscribe for a lot more content to come. It's not going to be just S3 stuff. We've got the E60 M5 and this 335 that I'm sitting in. I've got a few interesting plans with it. Just want to give a massive thanks to Artec for letting me use their ramp to swap out the engines. And also Daz from Auto4Motion for giving me a few tips on bleeding the clutch. So weird how it was just taking ages, but we got it done in the end. But yeah, I'll stop talking now and I'll see you in a few days time for the first drive. Or the 5th drive.